Om Shanti, divine brothers and sisters. So today, good morning. Today's date, 17 March 22. Morning murli. Om Shanti Bhavdada from Madhuban says, the essence, sweet children, instead of telling entertaining stories of devotion, tell everyone spiritual things. Do the service of liberating everyone from Ravan's kingdom. Instead of telling entertaining stories of devotion, what is the spirituality within them? Tell that spiritual things and do the service of liberating everyone from Ravan's kingdom. Question: what main virtue is required to attain success in the service you do? What is the main virtue is required to attain success in the service you do? The virtue of being egoless. Answer is we should be egoless so as to attain the success in service. So answer is the virtue of being egoless. It is shown of Mahavirs, brave warriors, that whenever there was a spiritual gathering somewhere, Mahavir, say the Hanuman, would go and sit among shoes because he didn't have body consciousness. However, this requires courage. You can go to any spiritual gathering, dressed as you wish, and listen to them. Go dressed in an incognito way and serve them. Song Salutations to Shiva. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shanti. This praise, this praise is of God, the highest on high, the Supreme. Call him Ishwar, God, or the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. But just by calling him God, you don't understand him to be the Father. And this is why you should call him the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Just Baba says, just don't call me God. Call me Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. He is the creator of this Hanuman world. Now, what does the highest on high Father come and say? He says, impure human beings call out me to come and purify them. He says, impure human beings, God says, Shivaba says, impure human beings call me to come and purify them. They call me to come and purify them. Pure means pure. Only God is called as purifier. He truly does definitely come. They remember God on the path of devotion, and so He surely does come. We recall God for 2500 years, and then He suddenly came. However, He only comes when He has to give the devotees the fruit of their devotion. When you become able to understand God, how how He is playing His part with you. At that time, your part of devotion will be successful because that devotion was just an exam, and now the knowledge is the fruit of that exam. To give the fruit means to give the inheritance, that is Swarga. It is very easy for him. He can give you liberation in life in a second. It is said that King Janak received liberation in life in a second. The name of only one is remembered. Liberation in life in a second means to receive peace and happiness. People say they want peace, happiness, and a long life. When someone dies at a young age, it is said he had ultimately he had untimely death. When someone dies at a young stage, it is said that he had untimely death and that he didn't live a full life. Now, however, whatever the father did when he came is remembered. Whatever the father did when he came is remembered. If you receive liberation in life in a second, you must definitely have had bondage in life. Prior to that, the end of Iron Age is said to be the bondage in life, and the beginning of Golden Age is said to be the liberation in life. It is called as bondage in life. It's Jivan Ban, and liberation in life is Jivan Mukti. It is said, receive liberation in life Receive the liberation in life means come to golden age while living at home like Janak did. The father explains there are just the two things, Raj Yoga and knowledge. The ancient Raj Yoga of Bharat is very well known. Ancient means from the beginning. But from when? Here, the highlighted yellow color gives you the point of knowledge, the pink color gives you the point of yoga, then sky blue gives the point for dharna and green gives the point of service. Raj Yoga and knowledge. Ancient Raj Yoga of Bharat is very well known. Ancient means from the beginning. But from when? Human beings don't know this because they say the duration of each cycle is hundreds of thousands of years. Everyone wants the ancient knowledge and yoga of Bharat through which Bharat becomes heaven. Bharat is now very unhappy. At first, there was the Sun Dynasty kingdom. It does not exist now, and so they remember that, ask and ask who taught Raj Yoga and knowledge. They don't receive this. Otherwise, there isn't any difficulty in a child receiving his inheritance from his father. Belong to the father, and you will become worthy of the inheritance. You still have to receive teachings from the mother, father, and the teacher. They, too, need the inheritance of liberation, and this is why they adopt gurus. However, no one can give you liberation in life only when it is the end of bondage in life and before the beginning of the liberation in life can the one who gives liberation in life come. The Supreme Father. People have only heard there is a liberation in life in a second, or that you can go from the kingdom of Ravan to the kingdom of Rama. That is, you can become pure from impure. However, they don't know how they can become that. The Father speaks to you souls. These are spiritual teachings which the Supreme Spirit gives you. There, it is always human being who read the scriptures. They say such and such a Mahatma gave them the knowledge. Here, there is ancient Raj Yoga and knowledge, which the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, gave you 5,000 years ago, through which you became deities. It has now disappeared. If it hadn't disappeared, why would he speak it to you? If human beings didn't become impure, how could he purify a father come? You have to take 84 births to become impure. The father explains the details of this to you. He also explains the clans to you. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. These are the different clans and Devta. Brahma is required, and the father of Brahma is also required. The father of all three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, is Shiva. He sits here and gives you ancient knowledge to Brahma, through which you will become the masters of the land of Vishnu. Brahmins become deities. From human being of the Brahmin religion, you are now becoming those of the deity religion. Therefore, Brahma, the father of people, is required first. Krishna cannot be called the father of people because he is a small kid. They have made up many wrong stories, such as Krishna had so many queens and children, etc. This is a mistake. In fact, it is Brahma, not Shri Krishna, who has children, because we are all the adoption of Brahma, through which through Brahma, Shiva is giving you knowledge. Brahma then become Krishna. The upheaval of this one word has confused human beings. They have said Krishna is the god of the Gita and removed Shiva. How everyone says that Brahma has three faces, and so they have become so confused. They have completely lost Shiva, the creator. The creator himself comes and tells you how he created the deity religion. Brahma is actually having the four faces. Just Brahma is playing the role of Brahma Baba, then Vishnu, and then Shankar, and last is Dharmaraj. You can't ask how God creates the world. People call out to the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the Purifier, to come and purify impure beings. The world does not know. It is now the kingdom of Ravan. They sit and relate long stories of Ravan. Those are called as the entertaining stories of the path of devotion, whereas these are the spiritual things. At this time, all Sitas, all the devotees are in Ravan's jail and they are very unhappy in the Ravan's kingdom. Everyone now has to be liberated from the kingdom of Ravan. The father has now come and he says, children, now that your 84 births have ended, you have to return to home. Father says, children, now your 84 births have ended. You have to return to home. People call out to me, remover of sorrow, best over of happiness. Come, this name only applies to me. There is infinite sorrow in the Iron Age, and whereas there is infinite happiness in the Golden Age, in order to give you the inheritance of happiness once again, in order to give you the inheritance of happiness once again, I am now teaching you Raj Yoga and the knowledge once again. This old world is to be destroyed. This old world is to be destroyed. People are now very much afraid of destruction. They feel that if people stop fighting each other, there would be peace. How could there be peace with so many religions? The father explains all these religions that exist now didn't exist before. When there was just one religion, there truly was the kingdom of peace or peace and happiness, and that one religion was based on humanity, called as the deity religion. Now, however, everyone asks how there can be peace of mind. Oh, first of all, you have to understand what a mind is. A mind and intellect are in each soul. It is the tongue of a person that enables him to speak, and his eyes that enable him to see. Your soul is watching through the eyes, your soul is speaking through your mouth. On the whole, it could be said that human beings are totally unhappy. It is very easy to tell everyone, remember the father and the inheritance. Then explanations of the tree and drama also have to be given, and you have these pictures made for that. There is no need to have pictures, simply saying man mana bhava. It takes an hour to explain a picture. God taught ancient Raj Yoga and he received the kingdom. Human beings would not teach you Raj Yoga. Remember the father and the inheritance, and that is fine. However, until you explain the details of this to everyone, how father come, how he give you the inheritance. So, if you explain until you explain the details of this to everyone, his intellect won't open. He won't be able to understand the word cycle. After you have seen a drama film, that the whole drama turns around in your intellect from the beginning to the end. In words, you would say that you have just been to see a drama. You see, you also say that you know this drama. However, there are a lot of details in it. You receive the inheritance of peace and happiness from the Father. You receive the inheritance of peace and happiness from the Father. You have the cycle in your intellect. How the cycle moves, how the bird cycle is moving from golden age to silver age, from silver age to copper age, and from copper age to iron age, and now from iron age we are in diamond age, where we are being playing our part with our lovely Shivama. Your intellect also definitely have to remember the cycle of 84 births again and again. Only you Brahmins receive this knowledge, and you then become deities. Brahma becomes Vishnu, and Vishnu becomes Brahma. You were deities who took rebirth and then become Brahmins. You, Baba explains, firstly you were the deities when you have entered from Paramdham, from that incorporeal world into this world, from that incorporeal world into this corporeal world, you were first deities, and now after taking 84 rebirths, you have become the Brahmins. A limited father simply creates and sustains his children. He would not destroy them. The destruction means the whole of the impure world will not remain. The whole of Ravan's kingdom is to be destroyed. Now, else would there be the kingdom of Rama. There, they never burn Ravan. Nothing of the path of devotion continues. In case of Satyuga, which is called as the Golden Age, uh, the truth world, the kingdom of Ram, there will be the no burning of Ravan. Nothing on the path of devotion continues on the path of knowledge. In the golden and silver ages, you experience the reward. That is the reward of knowledge. This is called the reward of devotion. Knowledge is the reward of devotion, and the heaven was the reward of knowledge. The reward of devotion is temporary, momentary happiness. The reward of devotion gives you temporary and momentary happiness. At first, devotion was unadulterated, and then in that unadulterated time, we only devoted to Shiva, and then it was gradually adulterated. Everyone become completely unhappy. Only the one Father is the best author of salvation. You have to tell them, remember the Father and the inheritance. Remember Him, and you will receive the sovereignty of heaven. How you come into hell is also explained to you. How you come into hell is also explained to you. You know. You now know the beginning, the middle, and the end of the whole world cycle. At this time, you become the seers of three aspects of time. You tell people that even the deities were not seers of three aspects of time. They would then ask you, so who were. This is because no one knows you Brahmins of the Confucius age. It has been shown that Hanuman used to go and sit among the shoes where there was a spiritual gathering. Why have they said this was this of Mahavir? Why have they said this of Mahavir? Because you children don't have body consciousness. For instance, if such a topic arises in a spiritual gathering, you can tell them if you want to receive the liberation in life in a second by studying ancient Iziraj Yoga and knowledge, then go to such and such a place. The one who explains has to be very courageous and egoless. There shouldn't be the slightest body consciousness. You can go and sit anywhere, and if you are given some time, you should speak to them. If someone is strong, he would give lecture on how it is possible to receive the liberation in life in a second while living at home with his or her family. No one apart from the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, can give you this. Only brave warriors can explain this. You are not forbidden to listen to them. While living at home, your children can do a lot of service. Tell them, if you want to study Raj Yoga, go to the Brahmkumaries. If, as you progress further, your name will be glorified, there will be there will then be majority. Now there are only few. Your name has been mentioned in reference of abducting people. They say that Krishna abducted women, but there is no question of abduction. Would a teacher abduct anyone to teach him or her? Those who do service have to churn the ocean of knowledge to a great deal. Those who do service have to churn the ocean of knowledge to a great deal and also remain very courageous. Acha, to the sweet, to the sweetest, beloved, long last, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, Bab Dada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. With the spiritual children says Namaste to the spiritual father. Om Shanti. Dharna, first point. Essence for Dharna, first point. Liberate all Sitas, the devotees, from Ravan's jail. Show everyone the path to liberation and liberation in life in a second. Second, remember the Father and the inheritance. Renounce body consciousness. Be a brave warrior and do service. Churn the ocean of knowledge and invent new methods of doing service. Blessing. May you be constantly unshakable and immovable and experience the stage of pleasure in adverse situation by choosing a method of nothing new. May you be constantly unshakable and immovable, and experience the stage of pleasure in adverse situation by using the method of nothing new. Brahmins means those who are constantly in a stage of pleasure. Brahmin means those who are constantly in a state of pleasure. Always have this song playing in your hearts. Vaha Baba and Vaha my fortune. I'm going to become deity now. In the world, do not be surprised by any situation of upheaval, but put a full stop no matter what happens. For you, it is nothing new. It is not anything new. Make your stage so unshakable internally that you do you do not let your minds become confused that what or why. There should be no question within you because everything happens according to drama plan. You will then be said that you will then be said to be unshakable and immovable souls. Slogan: the word was Vardhan, the blessing was may you be constantly unshakable and immovable and experience the stage of complete pleasure in adverse situation by using the method of nothing new. Be in a constant stage of complete pleasure and have the thought nothing new. Slogan: let there be good feelings and good wishes in your attitude, and these your vibrations will continue to spread. Let there be good feelings and good wishes to your attitude, and these pure vibrations will continue to spread. Om Shanti. Now, some versions some valuable versions of jewels from old diaries of Dadis. There are 2 points. You now have to imbibe divine virtues. The virtue of patience is to inculcate with faith, and there is happiness in the stage of detached observer. It is with the inculcation of this virtue that God is automatically revealed a thousand steps ahead. Baba says, when you come even 2 steps closer to a subtle way, I will physically come many steps towards you. Knowledge is to be stable in your own personal aim. By being stable in your own stage, God Himself will come forward. Remember, these elevated versions of Baba, the more divine virtues you inculcate, the more you will be instruments to give happiness to the other. What you give today, you will receive tomorrow. If today you give a servant, if today you give as a servant, tomorrow you will rule as a master. At present, you are word servant. Are you not? Second one. Let each one be stable in your original form and continue to make this body function. It is as though you are making this chariot sit down, feeding it, making it to go to sleep. I make it talk with the mouth. If I am causing someone's sorrow with this mouth, then I am insulting my own form. So the self, the perfect soul says, "O soul, I am sorry for you. I, the pure soul, cannot enter such a soul, such a being. Whatever, whenever, wherever the pure soul is, you cannot feel sorry for that place because such a soul cannot give sorrow to anyone. The pure soul is an embodiment of happiness, and intellect that has such faith in the self only gives happiness. Such a soul is identical to my form, and those who have the faith that they are souls and yet give sorrow to others are pandits in name only. They cannot influence others. Acha, Om Shanti. So the essence was sweet children, instead of telling divine the stories of devotion, tell everyone the spiritual things. Do the service of liberating everyone from Ravan's kingdom. And what was the main virtue required to attain the success? So that was egoless, getting egoless, and the soul was salutations to Shiva. Om Shanti.